ahead, Mr. Chair.
Call the meeting order. We have a quorum.
Okay, let me go ahead and check roll. Mr. Bruno Slight. Mr. Rick Garza.
I'm here.
Mr. Louis Pellegrin.
Here.
Mr. Gary Jacobs.
Here.
Mr. Ricardo Contreras. Mr. Luis Gutierrez.
Here.
Mr. Fernando Rodriguez. Mr. Rogelio Soto.
Here.
All right, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum. Okay, let's pledge allegiance let's do our pledge of allegiance so that we can
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Chair, all yours.
So, one of people had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting. So we need a motion to approve or amend.
I move that we approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Rick Garza, Mr. Pellegrin, second. Okay,
Okay.
I think Mr. Ordine, would you,
We don't
for
need-
public, huh?
You have somebody for?
I think, will you have some public comments that you would?
I just came here, I'm a representative of Laredo Brokers Association.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
treasurer,
Okay,
And we are gonna have a tournament on the course, and we wanted to know what is the condition, because
Okay.
we have been here different things, so.
Okay.
Someone told me that it was an open meeting.
yes, it
That's why I'm-
is. Yes, it is. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So I don't know, you heard that, Mitch? Did you hear that? They're having a tournament, when is it?
On the 18th of November.
November the 18th. And they wanted just to inquire, to being that it's an open meeting, as far as what were the conditions, as far as what to expect when they have their tournament on November the 18th. So can we go to the meeting, Mr. Nuña? And then at the end, I think what you're here today is pretty much going to answer your question, what your concerns are. And if not, we'd be more than glad to address it as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Go to Roman number 5, communication announcements. I'll go ahead and introduce Mr. Mitch Harrell. So, as you all know, October the 1st, our new management company that was selected, Troon, a national company that's very well known throughout the United States. We have been working together for the last, before the transition, with Mitch Harrell is a vice president of, is that correct? What's your title, Mitch? Senior vice president?
Senior Vice President Operations, yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mitch is the one that's been coming here frequently, trying to get the staff together, trying to get a superintendent together, and that's part of the presentation he's going to be talking about. So Mr. Mitch Harrell is pretty much our contact person, and he lives in Kerrville, so he's very familiar with our surroundings here, and has visited ever since the last couple of months. Has been down here at the course many times. So we'll go over now to staff reports, which is number one is the Troon's evaluation and assessment report. So I think you have it, guys, in in your tab under staff report.
Is that number 1, Coach?
Yes, sir. Number 1. So it says the overview, golf operations, the sales and the marketing, the food and beverage, and the golf course maintenance operation. Okay. Mitch, you want to go ahead and take it from here? Start going over the staff report.
Yes, more than happy to, Coach. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thanks for having me today. I really apologize for not being there in person. It seems that I contracted COVID for the first time. Actually, I've avoided it for 3.5 or 4 years, however long it's been out there, and I guess I've just been going too hard. My body's way of telling me I need to slow down or something. I don't know. But I apologize for not being there. I hope y'all save me some barbecue. That's the biggest thing.
Thanks for lunch. It's. I think everybody's hitting it pretty hard, Mitch. So.
Right. Well, I'll try to keep this short so nobody goes to sleep. Yeah, I just put together a kind of a quick overview of everything that's gone on, in the last couple of weeks since we've been engaged. Still lots to do. We're still discovering stuff as we go along, but for the easiest way to look at this is we took over management as of October 1st. I've been on property for the first week. Robbie Kearney, who's a general manager, has worked with Troon for about 20 years. Was on property the second week. I was down there again last week with some of our sales and marketing folks. Robbie will be back on Monday this next week. I was supposed to be down there all this week, but with the COVID thing didn't work out very good for me. We're making sure that the payroll transition went well. Everybody's getting paid. We're getting vendor accounts set up to make sure it's pointing to the right management company instead of the old management company. Also working with Mark DeMay and his team, who've been great, and JJ and his team, and trying to get whatever new accounts set up that we need to get set up. And I know that with year-end, budget cycle, month-end, all that stuff, this was not good timing for anybody from the city's perspective in trying to help us get our feet under us, but everybody's been as helpful as they can be, so I really appreciate that. Golf operations, there's lots to do. We've got a good team in that area, good, friendly, helpful, caring people that need some leadership and some training and some uniforms and things like that, and we will get all those things handled as we work through the next 30 days, call it. But yeah, there's a lot to do, right? There are things that just have been, have needed to be taken care of, and we'll get to them as they come up. We're working with vendors right now to look for uniform possibilities and things like that. So we should be able to get much further along in the next 3 to 4 weeks, as we move forward. Sales and marketing, we did have our sales and marketing team from our corporate office. Thomas Prince and Sean McDonald were down there last week. They're working on things like getting access to the domains and the websites and facility info so that they can start manipulating those things, getting Facebook, getting any of the creative stuff and things like that going, starting creating collateral. They did some drone footage while they were out there. We're working on sort of a 2024 sales and marketing plan that's pretty close to done. We are also taking a look at the current POS system, and I'll cover that a little bit more as we go further. But we're looking at the POS system, and that part of that deals with sales and marketing as well, because the POS system can help us push information out to people that we have, email addresses or text and phone numbers for. So, and also the Max has been added. Excuse me. The Max has been added to our Troon.com page. I'll need to go and take a look at it and make sure everything's right. But where if you click on it from the Troon perspective, it'll point back to our website at the Max. So we're working on all those things. Food and beverage operations next week, next Monday, Carlos Acosta, who is our corporate director of food and beverage, will be visiting, and just taking a look at the food and beverage operations. We've shared menus with them, and again, I'm sure that there will be a lot of ideas once Carlos's visit is complete, and he writes his reports and says, okay, here are the things I think we need to do to move food and beverage along. So we'll have more on that at more than likely at the next meeting that we have. Golf course maintenance, which is probably the first and foremost on everybody's mind. I probably should have put that first, and then we wouldn't have to talk about anything else. But obviously we've got greens issues. Okay, there is out of the 18 greens, there's probably 2 to 3 that are good. And then there's probably the remaining are, 50% or worse. So we are in the midst of conducting some testing on soils, water, any disease. There's a predator called nematodes that can prune roots and things like that. We're going to test for nematodes. Nematodes are always present, but it's the amount of nematodes that you have. If we have an excessive amount, there's a treatment that we can do to reduce that amount of nematodes. But no matter, we're gonna go through all of the testing processes and understand what we've got to work with. One of the thoughts early on was we get sod in there and try to sod everything as quickly as possible. I did have a conversation last week with JJ, and I said, here are kind of the options. And the first option was, okay, we get sod, and it's going to cost around $50,000 to get sod, and we sod everything, and we do everything we can to try to maintain and keep that sod over the winter time, and get grass on those greens right now, and then next spring we should be coming out and should be in pretty good shape. The only problem with that is that if there are more problems than we know about with the greens, we could be flushing the $50,000 worth of sod down the toilet in a sense. So the other option was to do nothing this year, wait till next year, get sod scheduled. We'll have all the test results. We'll know what kind of amendments we need to make, and go forward from there. And then the third option would be that we do an overseed right now for the winter time. It should get us through, call it the middle of April to 1st of May next year, and shortly after that we can schedule to have sod trucked in from Texas. By the way, the reason the sod cost was going to be so ridiculously high was that we would have to have it trucked in from Alabama, because a lot of the Texas farms just don't have any. They've had the same summer, winter issues that everybody, that all the golf courses have had. So they don't have the amount of sod that we need to get these greens in good shape. So the trucking costs were going to really hurt us. Although in the last couple of days, we've also found that even the Texas companies that have sod, it's going to be rather expensive. So we're also looking at other alternatives like sprigging the greens when we come out in May, and just doing a sprig, and then it might take an extra week or two, but we'll be able to play on them. So we're working on all those things. Aren't going to do anything until we talk to all of you and describe the situation and give you the options. But we all think that the best option right now is to overseed for the winter. We'll have a decent grass. I mean, it's similar to what they do in Scottsdale, for instance, is a lot of the greens are overseeded for the winter. And then next spring, we'll take the overseed out and then come in and get the base Bermuda grass established. So
Mitch,
let's see.
Mitch.
Do you want me to keep going, or do we have some
Yeah,
questions?
if I may just add something. I think you had mentioned in the third option that in between there you were going to do the testing and all that to making sure that we get down to the problem, to see if there's any. It was some testing in there as well, to see what the problems were with the greens.
I thought that's what I said.
Yeah, no, I don't. But maybe I missed it. So just kind of what he's saying is
I
that.
thought that's what I said.
All right, I'm gonna repeat it to the committee here. So what he's saying is that they're gonna overseed, but at the same time they're gonna be testing with the water, the soil, and all that. Before they did instead of putting all this $50,000 worth of grass, and maybe a year from now we're gonna have the same problem. So what they're saying is overseed. Let's test see what the problem is, and once they get all this testing, we figure out what it was, fix the problem, and then they come back and resod the right way. So I think after speaking with him, that's what I suggested. I think that's what he wants to bring it in front of the committee. That I think, yes, we want to cure right now, but we waited this long that we want to make sure that we get it back into standards that we expect the course to be. If that's kind of clarified where everybody what we're talking about as far as option 3.
Mitch, this is Gary. I'm sorry you got COVID. I just had one question about overseeding. I understand overseeding fairways, but I don't really understand overseeding greens. So will they play well, overseeding?
Yes, sir. We do it all the time in warm climates. Arizona, Palm Springs, for instance, we oversee the greens at say 90% of the places that have a Bermuda grass base. We oversee them every year.
Okay, thanks.
So.
And
Go ahead, go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
will there be any time where the course will be closed for the overseeding, I assume? Or no?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's necessary. We'll have to manage mowing, because you'll have to wait till the grass comes up before you put a mower on it, and it's got to get up to a certain level before you do that. So there may be a time when, you know, you're playing. We might cut temporaries and while the grass grows, and then once we get it mowed a couple of times, it'll be fine and good to go. So.
Thank you.
We'll try to avoid a total closure.
I've got a question.
And-
When are you planning to do the overseeding, Harold?
Well, we need as soon as you approve it.
Okay.
You know, as soon as everybody's okay with it, we'll get it ordered and get it going. It'll be in the next couple of weeks.
Would have to put a motion.
That's a cost.
Yeah, so, yeah, you want to go over the cost of what this would be? I know it's here in the maintenance operations. Would we go with this third option? That seems like everybody, we'll put it to a motion before, but what would be the cost for all this?
It's about $15,000 all in. The seed cost would be about $11,000, another couple thousand for fertilizer, and a couple thousand for sand.
I so move.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, we got to make a motion.
Okay.
I think we accept his proposal.
So we have a motion, we have a second, I guess you want to call it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right.
Okay, so majority rules, Mitch, 5-0. We're gonna go ahead and go with option 3 that we had spoken about. I think it's best for the city and best for the course. And you got the green light on ours, so that way we can start moving on this.
Okay, we'll get that going as soon as we get off the call.
Good, great. So that way, go ahead.
Oh, I had another question. Tyler King, Councilmember, District 6, which does not cover the max, but still, we love golf. So you mentioned marketing and whatnot. There's, we're all getting lots of text of photos of the greens and the conditions, and I know y'all are going to be doing this anyway. I'm just emphasizing that we, as a city, and then with the max pages, we're communicating extremely well to the following, the plans, so that they can understand there will be, basically, I just hope that they can see our plan very clearly, so they know what to expect, and they know it's not going to just get perfect overnight, and set the expectations. That's all.
Mitch,
Yeah.
let me say, Dr. King, I think makes really an excellent point. The gossip and the reality about the course for a long time has really been bad. And capitalizing on your expertise in the true name, I think his point is really excellent. It's some kind of brief communication, either via email or written, however, whoever has the population of golfers in Laredo has a database on that, especially people who have historically played the max. The communication from you to them, this is what we're doing, your course is gonna be great, it takes a little time, but we're in charge.
Yep.
Something like that, no?
Yeah, if I could, Mr. Jacobs, in working with ourselves, our PIO, in marketing this, this is what the plan is gonna be, guys, what you're saying, put out a press release, put it on the Max website. I think my son is in some kind of chat that all the golfers, not all of them, but the majority of the golfers are there. And this is what the plan is, and this is what you said moving forward. And we'll get something drafted out now that we got the okay from you guys, and this is where we're gonna move forward. And we'll put it out in the next 7 days or less, so we can put it out there. This is the plan, guys. This is what we're gonna do, and be transparent as far as what's going on, what the plan is with the
Yeah,
course.
I mean, excerpts from this, something like that, without
Right.
how many dollars you're gonna spend. But I guess to the doctor's point, if the golfers knew how good they are,
Sure.
and that they're gonna look at this methodically and analytically based on their experience, I think that'll go a long way to having the image of the course recover.
Sure. Yeah, well, Mitch, you and I will get together on this so we can come up with something, get your all's blessing. Maybe your marketing people can also come up with something, and we'll definitely put it out there. We'll meet on this, get it out as soon as possible.
Or maybe let Mitch and his team take a shot at drafting it and send it to y'all.
Sure.
To look at and say we like it or not.
Okay.
I think, I agree with everybody. I think something with the true name on it, that's official, that gets out there to the public is gonna be outstanding for all of us here.
I will have Thomas Prince, our sales marketing guy, and Rob Meyer, who does press releases for us, put something together today, and we'll get that back to y'all.
Okay.
Great.
There you go. Okay. Any other questions?
Well, no, I have a couple. Hey, Mitch.
You mentioned about the superintendent, you want to ask him?
Uh-huh.
You asked me about the superintendent as well.
Yeah, so right now you have direct guidance with your own superintendent in San Antonio dealing with John down here?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
say that again. It's kind of broke
point of
up.
question that everybody, or some people have been asking me. John Taylor's still down here. Your indirect, or your agro guy is still in direct communication with him?
Yeah, every day.
With reference to the seeding, we're looking at more or less an ETA on delivery of materials, and then it'll be about a week's worth of work to get going.
Yeah, probably in that neighborhood. 2 or 3 days. Once we get the seed in, we can get it down pretty quickly.
Okay. We have a gentleman here that obviously they're going to have a tournament in November, and that'll be a good point of reference for him to transfer that information to his people before they, well, right now they're starting the preparation for their golf tournament. And it'll be a good point of contact to that organization, because I believe you guys have the tournament every year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be a good idea for them to be a continuing customer of the Max. And that way he can spread it to all his organization also, all that information that we're talking about. And that way, I mean, it'll just take off. Laredo's pretty good at a couple of things, gossip and golf. So it's a #1 sport in town. So once you say something, it'll just carry like a cancer, you know. It'll just move across the city. And I know I don't know if you already talked about the same item. I'm very interested to find out the condition and the well-being of our equipment. We sent out a PO to purchase the existing equipment that's there. I know they gave you an inventory list. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys are in agreement with everything that you have there, because it'll be, well, one of the things that I've seen over the last couple of years here is, or we've told the company that was here before, when we have because of this committee's, I guess, function, it'd be best for us to get all the information right off the bat and set up a guideline or a timeline as to when the life expectancy of this equipment is going to occur. So, for instance, if something like some of the mowers are already at 3/4 capacity, and we know we're going to need one in a couple of years, we better start saying that now before budget time comes around, and we don't set up JJ and Tommy here we need to set them up for success when they go and talk to everybody downtown. So I guess what I'm saying is that once you get a good feeling as to how the equipment is, can you report to us and let us know, I see this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, this is what I see over the next couple of years, what the expenses are gonna look like, because we have a councilman here. And one of the things, as also an elected official, we don't like surprises. So we want to make sure that we have everything beforehand, so we can plan it with time, and we can take care of things as ahead of time rather than all in one big expense.
So I think I answered that question in the in my notes here, but the fourth bullet point under golf course maintenance is equipment evaluation, where we're bringing the existing equipment fleet up to proper function, ensuring that adequate and preventive maintenance and sharpening and developing capital list. Grinders are going to need to be addressed as soon as possible, and we will also develop a 5-year plan for replacement.
Excellent.
And that'll be a rolling 5-year plan. So I think I addressed that.
Yeah, okay.
I am, excuse me, just curious, how did someone come up with the value of what Landscapes was paid?
Okay. We want to go over to the next, let's go next to the next staff bullet.
Is there like a blue book on that?
Where's, no. Which is the number 3, Mitch, the purchase of equipment from Landscapes Golf Management. That way we can inform the committee how we came about it and what was the how you all evaluated and the history behind the purchase of the equipment. I'll start it and then you can kind of, I'll let you finish it up there.
By the
So,
way, Coach, we didn't pay the tax,
Okay.
remember?
oh, yeah.
Didn't pay the tax.
Yeah, so, now, members of the committee, so just to give you a little history of what happened with and Joaquin can kind of also, I'll let you take the lead, Joaquin. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So, when we terminated our contract with Landscapes Unlimited, and then we entered into this contract after RFP with Troon, and we selected Troon as our manager of our golf course, what ended up happening was, Landscapes sort of made it. They did something that would sort of tie us to them a lot longer than maybe we wouldn't have wanted. So I think it was about 5-6 years ago, we ended up leasing straight from John Deere for all of our equipment that needed to be used. We leased from them. And there's some benefits to that. I mean, we don't have to worry about the maintenance of the things. John Deere would come down and maintain the equipment for us as long as the lease, with an option to buy at the end, or the option could be to renew. We do that with our golf carts, by the way, and I think it works. I think it works just fine. But then during COVID, Landscapes Unlimited said, well, instead of leasing from John Deere, you can just lease from us, the people that are managing your golf course. And we said, yeah, sure, we'll definitely do that. It was cost savings for us during COVID when we were trying to, tighten our belts financially at the city. So it sounded like a good deal. I mean, who would have thought that this would have happened to our golf course and we'd have to look for another management company? So it's 2023, we get another company, and then we find out that we do not own any of the equipment. It's all leased through Landscapes. We asked Landscapes, can we buy pieces of it? They said, absolutely not. You have to buy everything or nothing. And then they said, okay, well, can we lease it? Can we just continue to lease from you, even though Troon will be managing? They said, absolutely not. These are our terms. You're buying all of this or you're buying nothing. And the reason why they were in that position to leverage it is because right now, a lot of golf courses are hurting for equipment, okay? A lot of golf courses. I spoke with representatives from Troon. They have a similar outfit. They have a golf course that they're undertaking in Baytown where they bought used equipment, and they're saying that, yes, new equipment is scarce. We even considered getting new equipment, but then the experts at Troon said, you're gonna be waiting a while to get it, and you need your equipment like right now, because this is a daily occurring thing using this equipment. So at the end of the day, we kind of, it was a divorce settlement worth $250,000 basically.
Do we have any idea, Mitch, what the equipment actual market value is, just so we can feel bad?
Gary, it's hard to say. I mean, used equipment is it's like a used car, right? It's either really, really used or it's barely used, and it's close to new. So I'm going to tell you that there is a mixture of equipment there. Some of it will be serviceable for quite a while. Some of it is going to need to be replaced rather quickly. And so that's what we'll come up with. We'll come up with a plan to just, replace as few pieces as we can to get by for a few years, to get more in line with having the right equipment available and ready to go.
Thank you.
So coming up with the price on this stuff, though, the situation that the city was put in, it almost didn't matter what they were going to charge for it. We were handcuffed because there was no way to get other equipment. There was just no way to do it in a short time.
I understand.
And the big sticker price, y'all, is because we purchased an entire fleet
Correct.
of equipment. It's not like we bought a mower and it was worth that much. No, we bought an entire fleet that manicures a championship level golf course. That's why the sticker price was so high. Just for context.
Then that's why we're asking, because as soon as people read that in the newspaper, obviously this committee hadn't heard about any of that. And I called JJ right away, says, okay, get ready for the phone calls. Because it just said fleet, define fleet, right? And then $250,000 and these guys are walking away. And so obviously, again, gossip goes pretty quick around here, and then we got screwed and everything else that came along with that, with the phone calls.
Right.
But, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
For context, if you would have bought the same pieces of equipment, brand new, you're probably looking at $1 million package.
Oh, okay. Well,
Maybe $1.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
The experts have the
And
facts,
just
not the
if I
Okay,
can
so
just,
that could be the front page tomorrow, please? And then tell them, just so everybody can feel good?
yeah, and I
Nobody
think,
cares about the truth, sir.
and before we came up, we agreed with this price. Troon did go over we talked to them. I said it's pretty much fair market value. Maybe they're about 10,000-15,000 over. Is that correct? Maybe about 10 or 15,000 over. But right now we don't have a choice.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured, except that there was hostage money involved, right?
Right. So that's what happened, and yes, it was. You're right, Rick. I think only half of the truth comes out, and maybe we should put it in.
First they run the greens and then they charge us for the machinery.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, Rick. We answered your question.
Yeah, they did. The only thing that, I'll just jump straight up into the other level, and I know you already put it as part of one of the points of reference here. But it's gonna be, one of the things that I'm looking forward to you guys going in there, and it is only fair. You guys are coming in and you're starting to realize a bunch of things that weren't right there. But I want to make sure that this committee and the city of Laredo and everybody is in tune and and we're all in this together as a team. There are a lot of things that are going to require, or what I call unforeseen. And I know that just looking, we're just looking at the greens right now and this equipment. Wait till you get to the barn. Wait till you get to the pro shop, and we're going to be looking at other equipment like ice machines and stoves and all that kind of stuff. Can we get more or less of are we going to be able to get something pretty quick here as to what those conditions look like for you? Because I really want to make sure that if the city of Laredo is saying we're in this, we're going to do this, I foresee that if this is not going to work and we're doing it in bits and pieces. If we don't have the ice machines, if we don't have all the operational things that go on in the barn and in the pro shop, where we're going to be getting half the product, it's going to cost you more money to run it, and it's going to cost the city more money to be doing this and kind of nickel and diming it. So, if we can get a worst case scenario of the cost of fixing everything in one shot, maybe we can work in figuring out how we can get you guys going with this course looking at 100%. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, JJ, I agree. It's just going to take time. Is all for us to vet everything out. Have I discovered that we've got we've got internet issues in the clubhouse. We've got I haven't heard about any ice machines yet, so that's new information to me. I know that we need, that the offices down at the maintenance facility don't have the air conditioners going in and out. I know that there's some street work that needs to be done on the drive-in. I know that there's, obviously we've talked about equipment a little bit. There's sand for bunkers. There's, this and that and the other thing. So we're working on all those lists at the same time. And it's probably going to be another 30 days before we can kind of pull everything together and prioritize what the things are that we need. Because if I would tell you, if the city just said, okay, here's $3 million, we could spend all of it. But that's not the way it's going to work the best, right? So we've got to kind of evaluate everything and then start moving things around and say, okay, what's the priority here? It's kind of like I was going to say that we're taking a hard look at the point of sale system that we've got in place there, which is not a bad point of sale system, but it doesn't give good reporting, so it doesn't give me good management information to be able to react and move things around and change fees or whatever I need to do to make things work. And so, there's everything kind of goes hand in glove and fits together. And so we need to get all of it on paper and then start sitting down and moving the cards around and saying, okay, this is really important. This is not that important. This is not very important at all, but we need to do it at some point in time, So we need to just get everything in the right boxes first before I come to you and say, okay, here's the plan. Here's what we need to do. So we're still learning, 19 days in.
Just to put on the list, Mitch, I'm sure it's a long list, but it's important. Since the building was built, there's a sewer gas problem in the building. So from time to time, it has really bad sewer gas odors in the building. All had to do with the way they installed or designed the wastewater plumbing in the first place. And no one's really ever diagnosed it or attempted to fix it. Having built a lot of stuff, I don't think it's expensive to fix, but you need to find somebody who knows how to identify what the source is, and then come to the city and say, here, y'all can fix it, or we can go get somebody to fix it, but it has to be fixed.
Are you there, Mitch?
Well, that guy ringing.
Yeah,
Should we recess the meeting for a minute?
Mitch, Mitch. Okay, I lost you something in the video. I'm gonna put you back on my. They just talked through the phone. Okay.
Okay, I don't know what happened to the video.
Yeah, no, it's something on our end. I don't know what happened. So okay, we'll continue here as we were. We just won't have a video. Mr. Jacobs had a. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, right when Gary started talking, it just went dead.
Just
So
on your long list, there is a legacy sewer gas odor issue that from time to time is really bad in the clubhouse. And it just,
number one on my list, actually, as a matter of fact.
okay, good, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Committee members, or anybody that would like to? I think we went over the maintenance operations. We went over the equipment, and the purchase of equipment. Any items for next meeting that the members would like to add, that you would like for us to have for the next meeting?
Well, we really can't move forward on anything else other than that.
I have a quick question about the
Sure.
point of sale system.
The what?
The point of sale system you was going to talk about. I'm the owner of United Solutions, a payment processing company here in town, and I want to know. I mean, if you need help, finding out what's the best point of sale system for the max, I'll gladly help you out in any way I can.
Great.
Very, very much appreciate that. We've got some specific stuff that we use at many of our facilities, so we've got some history with it, and it seems to work better if we've got our internal people understand it and things like that. So if we decide to change from the current system, Lightspeed, to something else, we've got two options that we would consider.
Okay. All right. So and just so that you know, I can integrate with any system, so you can keep your same software and help you out, here locally for support in case you guys need any help.
Okay. The city manages all of the technology,
Okay.
so would probably be more, as far as support and things like that. I would probably defer to whoever we're going to be dealing with the city on that.
Okay.
But thank you very much. That's helpful. I'll know you're there if we need you.
All
Okay. Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
have some questions
Sure.
that interest our tournament.
Okay.
Who is our point of contact? Are they going to respect or approve the same, the green fees that we were charged last year?
Mm-hmm.
And if we are gonna be able to play there?
Right. Mitch, did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Tell me your name again, sir.
Rafael Orduña.
Raphael. Robbie Kearney will be at the facility next Monday. It might be great for you to reach out to Robbie or Eric Arredondo at the facility and go out there and talk to him. We'll be very helpful to your group on making sure that you're charged a fair rate for what for the product that we have currently and things like that. So it would be good for you to go and talk to Eric or Robbie at the facility next week.
Okay, I'll call them on Monday.
Thank you, Raphael, and I'm sure sorry I'm not there in person today, sir.
That's okay.
But I don't want to get you sick.
Thank you.
Mitch, one last question. Mr. Garza's got a question about, now that the rates issue, question came up.
Yeah, just
Okay.
wanted to know that, again, I appreciate the fact that you guys have only been here 19 days, so there's a lot of questions that are not gonna be answered. I don't wanna hold you down to anything specific, because I know you guys have to still clear up a bunch of things that are around here. I know you mentioned something that you would charge according to the conditions of the course right now. I think a lot of people, the people that have been in contact with me are asking me the same question. The day-to-day operations right now, I know Eric well. I haven't met Mr. Rainey, so I'm looking forward to doing that. My question is so right now, we're just moving along as we did before until we get a good handle on things?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, look, we've made some concessions on some of the event business that we already had on the books, and helped them out with a little bit lesser green fee and some things like that. So we've been helping some people out, where we've got an event that was like last weekend was Pan American Golf Association, and we made some adjustments to the fees that they were paying and things like that. We've got other events same way. So we're doing everything we can to keep everybody happy, and and understanding that they're playing a golf course that is not as good as the sort of highest fees, but we're not charging the highest fees right now that I think we can charge. So.
Okay. Good, it's good to know.
Okay. Thank you, Mitch. All right.
You bet.
Any items for next agenda, for next meeting? And that way we can schedule a meeting with the committee, what date we want to meet. Don't get sick on me, Mitch, next time.
No, I'm going to do my best. Like I said, I've never had this before, so I didn't even know it was coming.
Okay, so
One thing, just one thing, Mitch, I mean, I like the way you broke this down. I think most of the things that are gonna happen over the next couple of meetings is we're just gonna have follow-up on each point of reference that you have here. I think
Right.
you laid it out perfectly. I think everybody's looking at obviously the greens are number one, and then number two, going down the line with the operations, and then clubhouse and all that. But anything else that can come up, I think I'm looking at this is gonna be a game of inches. And moving forward, I think the way we speak to each other here at these meetings is gonna be crucial, that we keep tabs as we move along, and in order to get a better grasp and get the public really in tune with what you guys are trying to do. And that's gonna be key, so that we don't have everybody just jumping on you all, telling you how, why is it taking long or whatever. But I think the way you break it down here is perfect. The next time we come around, I think we're gonna be reporting on item by item and breaking it down and see how far we've gotten in 30 days.
Yeah, JJ, thanks. I figured that this template would be something that, you know, when we have these meetings, and I don't know what the regularity is, if we're going to do it monthly, if we're doing it every other month, or whatever. But I figured I would use this a very similar format each time, and then we can talk about each of the departments and what's going on in each of the departments. But
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we normally don't meet in December, Mitch, so I like to have a meeting next month. Just to kind
Okay.
of like a 30-day progress, see where we're at from what we talked about. I was looking on Thursday, whatever Thursday before Thanksgiving, whatever that day is, because somebody has a calendar, 'cause my
Six-
phone,
Thursday
16.
before Thanksgiving is the 16th,
okay,
Coach.
which is a month from now. Are you okay with that, Mitch?
Should work for me.
Okay, so let's, well, y'all need to make a motion before,
I would just like to see if Dr. King and Jose Valdez can both attend that day. Are those good?
I just put it on my calendar, yes, sir.
Okay.
I think I'll be available.
Great.
Like-
Everybody else okay?
One or two attorneys less, or is it okay?
Do we make you nervous?
More food,
one next to you too, man.
more food for us.
It depends what they're catering.
Yeah.
Serve salads, you won't have me here.
We need the lawyers. Anyway, November 16th, if that's okay with everybody.
okay, y'all go and make the motion so we can put it
So
on.
moved.
I'll make the motion that we meet on November 16th again. Mr. Jacobs moved, so I'll second that, and you guys are ready to go.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Okay, November 16th at noon, we always meet at noon. And any items that you want to, many members, anything that you want to add into that, please reach out to us, or Ms. Landine and myself.
Well, I
So
was wondering, maybe we ought to consider a December meeting.
We
since
can.
This is all changing.
It's all changing, yeah?
Yeah, and keep up
Keep
to
track
date
of it,
with
sure,
what's happening.
sure. That way, we can already start planning, and then November, we come up with a date in December.
That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
idea.
a good idea. That way,
Wonderful.
being that you guys are the new kids on the block, and we can get, stay advised. And that would, well, and of course, Mitch, you know that everybody, you know, is the Greens and how they're moving along and how they're taking it. So I think once we get that going, and so is pictures and all that, that definitely help us out.
So
Okay?
one suggestion, some meeting, maybe Mitch could host us in San Antonio, and we could see
Okay.
how they operate a course there.
Can you do that, Joe?
And
Can we hold a meeting in San Antonio?
Just gotta post it, I think. I don't think there's anything. We'll check with legal.
Is anybody here from legal?
It would be nice to be able to see what our goal is.
We've done postings in Washington and other places. Well, we'll discuss it. We'll let the committee know.
Okay.
Okay, I don't
Open to the public.
If no other business,
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Okay. Thank you, Mitch. Hope you get well soon.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I'll see everybody very soon.
Okay.
Thanks, Mitch. Good report. Appreciate it.
All those
Thank you.
in favor for adjournment? All those in favor for adjournment, we have to close it out. Aye, aye.
Yeah. All right.